We welcome you back here to Longhorn Weekly here from Pluckers, the West Campus location here in Austin. We welcome you back to the program here alongside head coach Rodney Terry. I'm Craig Way, and I always leave the introductions to you, RT, when it comes to our special guest.
Yeah, we've got Chris Johnson here, better known as CJ. He's a freshman from Missouri, Texas.
Yes,
played at Elkins High School. Played his last year at Mount Verde Academy. I don't know if they call it Academy, Mount Verde High School. But played at one of the top prep schools in the country his senior year. But we're excited about CJ. CJ's he's a big guard. He's a guy that can play both spots. The thing I love about CJ and what he brings to the table right now as a young player is he's a very vocal guy. He's in young players, a lot of times you don't have guys that are guys that talk on the floor, communicate at a high level. He does that at a very high level, and he's a cerebral player. He's a guy that understands basketball. He puts a lot of time in terms of trying to learn basketball, and he's got a very bright future ahead. He's grown so much in a short amount of time that he's been with us, and he's been challenged, and he's going against older guys every day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so your situation, CJ, is rather unique, and I want to get the perspective of both of you about this, about how for folks who don't know, of course, like RT said, he's from Missouri City, went to Fort Bend Elkins for 3 years, finished up at Mount Verde Academy there in Florida, originally committed and signed with Kansas, and then kind of the way I've had it described to me, change of heart, late spring to early summer. Take us through that process when you went through it and then had the change of heart, so to speak, and I'm interested in the communication and the dialogue that happened afterwards.
So basically, the whole picture was I just wanted to have my family see me play. I wanted them to be at all my games, cause let me stop. But
That's all right.
So basically, my last year in high school, I went to Florida, like Coach said, and my family really didn't get to see me play a lot, and then I also was battling through a lot of mental troubles, just being away from my family and playing basketball and basketball not going the way that I thought it would go. And at the end of the day, that's just growing pains. But I wanted while I had an option to come back to Texas so my family could see all my games and be there.
When you went to Montverde, when you went there, was that strictly with the mindset of this is going to help me improve as a basketball player? Because we know how good that academy is. Dylan Mitchell, of course, played there. There's players all across the country. It's played one of the elite academies for high school basketball in the country. Was that the motivation after 3 years playing in your hometown area at Fort Bend Elkins to go out there?
That's all it was. I just wanted to get better. I felt like I already succeeded enough at my hometown. I didn't lose a district game in 2 years. So I felt like I wanted another challenge, and that's what Montverde gave me.
All right, so RT, we flash forward. He commits to and then signs with Kansas, goes to Kansas, and then has his change of heart. What happened then? He reaches out to you and take us through the process.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, he had to obviously put his name in the portal and make sure all that was happening as well, And I had to get a release from his NIL from Kansas before we were able to have any contact with him. Chris had been on the radar for a long time. Chris wasn't someone that we weren't aware of, and someone we hadn't recruited and been around with. So we were very familiar with him and knew, again, what he brought to the table. For us, we had already signed a high school kid as well at his position who also chose to go to the professional range. And so with that being said, we're like, CJ would make a great fit for us to come back in and start recruiting him again really heavily if he has an interest in coming home and being close in proximity to his parents.
Okay, so then you enrolled in the second session of summer school, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, and take us through that process between what you were doing academically there, enrolling in the second session of summer school, and how it was leading up to what you wanted to do basketball-wise.
I felt like it was great. Kat helped me through a lot of things, so just going to her every day, getting a relationship with her, doing the things I got to do off the court, and just focusing on the court. And I feel like everything was smooth.
Yeah, that's always a special relationship, isn't it, with the academic help personnel to help the young guys, especially if they're coming in, say, at midterm or summer school.
What's a big part of the summer? The guys come in and obviously they're getting a chance to train, getting a chance to try to learn our culture in terms of the way we go about doing things every day, but they're also getting acclimated to the academic situation as well in terms of the way things are put in place for them in terms of academic support and really, again, just kind of really, getting them prepared for what they're about to embark on for the fall. So when they come back, first part of August and we start our semester, guys are already ready to go. They know what their academic support program is. They know, they're reporting in with Cat once a week, and they're ready to go.
Devon last week told us that Cat really helped him as well, and he said that the infrastructure that's in place that really helps you guys academically really helps ease the transition. Is that something that was beneficial to you very bit, not just Cat, but just the way that the support structure is academically at Texas to help ease you into the process starting in that second summer session?
Most definitely. They got a bunch of tutors up there in the academic center, and it was real smooth. Like, they didn't just dump a whole bunch of work on us. They let us work at our own pace, and then shoot, it was cool.
RT, what did you see from CJ in terms of his development starting from that second semester summer school, not just as a basketball player, but say culturally, academically, socially, things like that, because that's always a challenge for an 18-year-old coming out of high school or even out of a private school academy environment to go into a big university like this?
Well, I think the one thing I alluded to in his introduction, how much he's grown from the time that he got into campus to the time where he's at right now, and that's in all aspects. That's off the court in terms of applying himself from an academic standpoint and understanding that, at the University of Texas, you're going to have to really get in and apply yourself at a high level from an academic standpoint. And, there's no slippage off the court because we expect you to do things great on the court as well. But we want it both. We want you to do really well in the classroom. We want you to do really well on the floor as well. And he got acclimated to that, and he had a couple of growing pains with that early. We had to get some reminders on what that really looks like and was all about. But give him credit. He's done a great job academically, and he's learned a lot being a young player playing with older players.
All right, we're going to have more with Chris Johnson joining us here as we continue from Pluckers, the West Campus location here in Austin. With Longhorn Weekly with head coach Rodney Terry here at Pluckers and presented by the Texas Lottery continues in a moment.
Tyrese on the right side with it. In the corner. Now Ace missed to try that three. This time it's good.
Shot ready, quick release, bucket.
Welcome you back here to Longhorn Weekly from here at Pluckers, the West Campus location here in Austin. Our special guest, CJ, Chris Johnson, freshman guard. Max Asmus, we had the highlight there of him knocking down the shot. How much have you learned from watching Max, who's been through what he's been through and transferred in, and now he's moving up the ladder on all-time career NCAA scoring list? How much do you learn from a guy like Max?
You learn a lot, especially working out with him a lot, coming in the summer. You learn a lot, just the work ethic and how he goes about his business. He's just real business-minded. Like, he gets his work in, he leaves, does the right things on and off the court, and it's a real pleasure to see and get to work with him every day. Like, and it is crazy watching him play. Like, even the game that we did lose at West Virginia, like, I'm just sitting there watching him like golly, this is amazing. But nah, he's a fun player to watch and learn from.
He had 32 points in that game, did Max Asmus, and was a Big 12 Conference Newcomer of the Week. Okay, so you kind of grew up in the greater Houston area and played at Fort Ben Elkins before you went to Montverde Academy. This is something that's always kind of interested me, is the caliber of opposition, what you're seeing now. There's a lot of great high school basketball in H-Town, as we know, and you said you hadn't dropped a district game when you were there. There's a lot of great basketball there in the Houston area. I've always been interested in the academy life in terms of the basketball, because I know you play some really elite programs, but there's a lot of travel in it and a lot of tournaments and things like that, and classics and things of that nature that you perform in? And what's the basketball style like in playing against those types of schools?
I say it's really similar to college. I mean, we're on planes pretty much every weekend, every 3 to 4 days, and then it's a bunch of details like all the scouting reports and all that stuff. So I feel like Montverde prepared me really well, and it's fun getting to play against the top players every single game and playing with them.
Now, would it be safe to say that high school life in Florida was quite a bit different than high school life in Houston?
Oh, most definitely.
Most definitely. What were the biggest differences that you lived with there?
Basically, I was bored in there, so I went from being in Houston, you know what I'm saying, pretty much I had a car so I could leave, you know what I'm saying, be on my own type of time. But when I got to Montverde, all those things changed. I was in a dorm pretty much 24/7. Only other place I went to was the gym and to get food. So it really helped me lock in.
I started to say, did it help prepare you for living away from home? That it's like, even though you're close to home, you're 170 miles away from home, but did it help prepare you for life away from home now?
Most definitely. Like Montverde's dorms, they weren't the best, so I knew I could go to any living situation and be perfectly fine. So
yeah. You wear the number 0. Why?
Personally, I just always liked it on me. Like, I mean, I used to watch a lot of Russell Westbrook when I was younger, like when he played with OKC, but like, I'm trying to make a name for myself, so it's really not all because of him. I just always wore the number 0, really. Like, I'm not just gonna say it's because of him, but he played a pretty big part. Yeah, I do like that number a lot.
Oh, okay, all right. Also, anybody that knows anything about Longhorn basketball knows what the greater Houston area means because of TJ Ford as well. And I know you've had a relationship with TJ with everything he does down in the greater Houston area.
For sure.
What does he mean to you?
He means a lot to me. I mean, he's like a second father figure to me. I mean, ever since middle school, he's been picking me up daily to take me to the gym, make sure I was in the gym. I mean, when my lights weren't on in the house, I go to his house. He has lights, food, fed me. Like, TJ means a lot to me, and I'm trying to like grow his legacy here. Like, I just want to be great, just like how he was great here.
When you talk to teammates, is there one specific one that you lean on for advice, or do you get it collectively from all the guys?
You say teammates?
Teammates, and now at Texas. Is there any one teammate who you kind of lean on for advice, whether it be not just basketball, but maybe the life? Yeah.
I say Brock Cunningham, real cool dude, down to earth. I can hit him whenever. Gives me the straightforward answer. Never sugarcoats anything. So yeah.
All right. Hey, it's great to see you. I appreciate you coming by.
Appreciate you having me.
All right, CJ with us. Chris Johnson. Coach Terry will be back with us coming up when Longhorn Weekly continues from here at Pluckers, the West Campus location presented by the Texas Lottery on the Longhorn Network and the Longhorn Radio Network from Learfield.